everyone, I'm back with another one of these. I just can't get enough of putting these together. It's so fun. It's kind of like working on a puzzle and you just don't know the picture yet. You just kind of create it as you go along. So as you can see, I have my cup of water there already to keep my paint brushes from getting dried up with glue. Kind of got a couple of things that I could experiment with. I have no idea what I'm going to even do yet, to be perfectly honest with you. So many of these new papers I got in from Shein are so beautiful. I kind of want to use them all at the same time, and I can't. That would really clash, so I'm trying to figure out what to do next. And I think I know. Let's go ahead and get this board of wood I have here. I kind of had to glue two of them together because they were kind of thin. I'm not even sure where I got these plywood board things or what they were supposed to be used for, but no matter, they're my art project now. And that's how a lot of the leftover things that I find in my art studio generally tend to go. They'll be used for something. I don't always know for what, but they'll be used for something. I'm just getting this glue nice and good in here. Wood, as I've mentioned before in my videos, is very thirsty. Very thirsty material to work with compared to canvas. It soaks up everything, so I gotta layer this really good. I think this is gonna be my first page. Get that on straight. Yep, got that on there perfectly. And just want to seal up over the edge here, and I'm going to start painting the other side because we've got another piece we're going to need to put down. Another thing that having the paintbrush in the water does is it really does make this Mod Podge kind of glide a bit more smoothly. And I've done this a couple of times. It doesn't seem to affect the stickiness of the glue. In fact, it seems to work just fine. You just want to make sure that you don't saturate it more than what I've saturated it here, or you will get your paper wrinkling up and crinkling at the edges, which is not what you want. Just gonna make this kind of newspapery flower background, kind of what I want to call our base background. And I'm thinking of what I want to do with the center here. I think I know. Let me set down some glue. And I'm going to plunk this right in the center. That almost doesn't look like I collaged it. That almost looks like it just belongs that way. But that's pretty cool looking. Now let's see, what have we got here that we can use? I really like that, but no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Not for this. Something else maybe, but not for this. Ooh, I like that. I like the bird cage. Lord, my speaker just went off and scared me. Yeah, that would look good. So where do I want to put it? Actually, I want to leave those tulips kind of hanging there. So I'm just going to put that there. Get a nice layer of glue down. let's get you straightened up on the edge. There you go. And as always, we're just going to seal the corner. Seal that nice and good onto there. I think that I had a graphic design teacher that used to call this painting with paper. And that's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of painting with paper. And I think like last time, I do want to put some text and a quote on it. So I'm trying to see. That looks like it would be nice paper to use for that. But I'm going to put that to the side for now so that it can dry. And I'm going to have to focus on how I'm going to get some legible and straight text onto that. So what I'm using is the edge of another sheet of paper, and I'm going to take my lightest of my drawing pencils, and we're just going to very lightly put ourselves some lines, because it is very hard to write text straight without a visible line. Some people do master doing it with the naked eye, and apparently there were people in the past that could do this, but I feel like that's something of a lost art. We are just going to very carefully and very slowly pin this in so that it comes out straight. And after a couple of thousand do-overs and a few erasures, I finally got something that my perfectionist self ended up being satisfied with. That done, what I decided to do is, because it was done in a very light pencil, I want to go ahead and go over it with something that's going to show up that people can be able to read from reasonably far away. So what I ended up doing was grabbing a green Sharpie pen and very meticulously going over that lettering. That way, people will be able to see it, read it. And I do think that the green is actually a good color choice for this project. And I can put this to the side and let the ink dry really well, and then I'll just erase those lines. And now we've got some Maker's Magic. I kind of want to do that for a top protective layer of this work. The Maker's Magic doesn't dry as sticky and as gummy as the Mod Podge, but it will still protect your work pretty well. As you can see, it's very clear. I'm going to go ahead and just, while I have the glue out, I'm just going to stick that on there. Because I like to have little quotations and sayings in my collages. They're almost like little mood boards in a way. Now, because I've been using a lot of found things and art pieces that I wasn't doing a whole lot with, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of a 3D dimension to this project. These are some flowers that I made out of resin. I poured some leftover resin into smaller molds, which is what I do with the overflow of my resin projects when I have too much. And I think these plain white flowers are actually perfect for these projects. I had no idea what I was going to actually use those for, but I think I might add a few of them to layer over that bouquet. And we're just going to add more glue, and you get the idea. Just going to keep adding a few more little flowers. That looks very nice. I really like this one. I think this is one of my favorite collages that I've done so far. Add that. Nah, it's a little too busy. I might not add that. And I'm just going to put that to the side to dry for now. Now after it dried, I decided to do my old trick of getting some E6000 out, taping it down so that it wouldn't move, and gluing it where I needed to glue it. You can see close up right here where I glued it, and I'm just going to trim the excess under that when I take it away. So it looks like it dried. I'm just going to pull that tape off, and then I'm going to trim that, and we'll be able to hang it. And this is the finished result. I thought that the pearl hanging with the vintage looking paper and flowers would look the best, and I think I was correct. That composition, I feel, has come together really nicely. I like the 3D look with my resin flowers that I also pasted on there. And while calligraphy and lettering really isn't my thing, I do think that the handwritten lettering really does also add to the collaginess of it, and I like the way it came out overall. So yeah, this is something that's a little bit different than resin. I wanted to kind of branch out from doing just resin and move more into mixed media, and I like a ton more paper, so I'm very certain that this is not going to be my last one. So if you liked it, give me a thumbs up and a comment. Definitely, I always like feedback. I always like ideas for what I can do next. If there's something you want to see, acrylic pouring is something I wanted to get into, and more digital art definitely I would like to get into. But right now I probably will focus a little bit heavier on the collage videos, but no promises. A digital art video could be in the works very soon. So if you've stuck with me this long, please like and subscribe. Smash the like button because it does help with the algorithm, and it will help my small channel grow. And I will see you in the next art story. Bye for now.